All right, Kellyanne, thanks. Well, we have a real treat for you today. The folks from Paramount Arts Center are here to talk about their latest show coming up this weekend, which is a classic, Cabaret.
Cabaret is the big classic, and Josh Nada joins us now. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you for having me.
For those folks who haven't seen Cabaret and you'd like to entice them to come and see the show, how do you do that? Go ahead and be the salesman for a minute. What are they going to see?
The show is set in Berlin, in Germany, at the start of the rise of Hitler and World War II. And so the show carries the story of numerous different people, what they had to deal with during those times and how they got through it. So that's the main central plot in the show, is the rise of Hitler and World War II.
And you are actually in costume right now.
Yes, I am.
Who are you playing in the show?
I'm playing the MC, sort of the narrator of the show.
Okay. So will we see you a lot in the show still?
Yes.
You're not one of those like the Wizard of Oz where you're kind of just off talking?
No, I'm always on stage a lot.
All right. And we want to mention too, because I mean, a lot of people are familiar with this because it is a classic, but if you are planning on attending the show, it might not be one you take the little ones
For the little wee ones.
Yeah.
No, it's rated R.
Okay.
It is it's a rated
R.
So
make this a date night kind of thing.
Exactly. And yet at the same time, the seriousness of the theme of that show, it really kind of hides the fun that can be had if you see this show, because it is just a wild show on stage.
It's a funny show. It's really, really good. And we are dedicating the run of Cabaret to a local person that lived during World War II and is from Germany. And so
actually, our viewers are probably familiar with her. Her name is Helga Thorne, and we just did a hometown hero on her about 2 weeks ago. Here's
There's
a picture
Helga.
of her. So give us a little bit of her story and why you decided to dedicate this to her.
Okay, well, Helga was born in Berlin, Germany, and she's Jewish. And in the late 20s, in the early 30s, when she was a young child, her parents wanted to get her out of the school system and get her away from Germany. So they moved her south through Europe. And her father was put in the concentration camps, but he escaped and got moved to the United States. And her mother and younger brother, they were lost in the concentration camps. But I thought, and she is big in the theater district here in the tri-state area.
She sure is,
And she's a wonderful woman, and I thought we should dedicate the run of Cabaret to her because it means something, and the plot of the show means something. And she grew up during those times in Germany, and I thought that it would be a great thing to dedicate the run of the show to her.
I did a story with her probably 10 or 15 years ago, and at the time the movie Austin Powers was very big, and the cast was all calling her Frau Farbissina because she would scream for them about props. She was the prop.
Yes, she is.
And so they loved her. They and they said, "Would you please do a story about her?" Because they loved her so much. And so for years she has been a part of the local community, the local theater community. So that's a nice gesture to do that.
It is.
And she's wonderful. So
yeah. Let's talk about when the show is. Again, we said this comes up this weekend, so is it Friday, Saturday?
Friday and Saturday at 7:30 p.m. at the Paramount Arts Center.
All right, and you can get tickets in advance. They're $2 extra on the day of the show, and we also want to mention you can buy VIP tickets as well. What does that entail?
The VIP tickets, I am not 100% sure. They were front tables in the show. They may be sold out already. I'm not quite sure, but the VIP tickets were for the tables, the round tables up by the stage.
Which usually comes with like a snack and a little drink, which makes it really nice. So if those are there, that's always a great option.
And we will also be serving German food and German drinks that were normally sold in Germany during that time.
Interesting.
Yeah. So this sounds like a lot of fun, and you brought 2 cast members with you today. We'll get a little preview when we come back.
Yes.
All right, so stick around. We'll be right back.